Yo, what's up, my little tubers? We're back for some more drafting here on Arena. I got some more best of 3 of All Will Be One as we anxiously await Shadows over Innistrad Remastered to hit online. That should be fun. We can play with Emrakul, the Promised End, take your opponent's turn. That should be interesting to see how that plays out on Arena. Anyways, hit that like and subscribe. Let's jump into our Pick 1 Pack 1 where we've opened Mondrak Glory Dominus. Pretty powerful. As far as the Dominus creatures are concerned. And it's in a nice color for the extra ability here. If one or more tokens would be created under your control, twice that many of those tokens are created instead. So I think the best deck for this is actually like the red-white equipment deck, because it works well with the Firmiridan cards, but obviously in white you have access to like Charge of the Mites, Basilica Shepherd, some other ways to make tokens, Chorus, Crawler, whatever. Excuse me, I just ate, got a little bit of hiccups. We're passing an Ossification and a Bladed Ambassador. The next two best cards are both white indeed as well, but we're going to still first pick the Mondrak and see if we can go along with that route. Pretty solid second choice now, Ambassador versus Convert. I would normally take Convert here, but after taking Mondrak Pick 1 Pack 1, I'm going to try to cut off the white, given that we just passed 2 good white cards. It's just such a weird signal if I continue to pass white, you know, but I guess, you know what? No. The correct play is still to take the Mere Convert here. Like, it's the better card. It goes into any deck. It's possible white doesn't end up being open and we don't play Mondrak anyways, so we'll take Convert. Otherwise, we take Bladed Ambassador. Rabble's good, Predation's fine, Cultivator's great. Let's just take the best card out of the pack and be happy with it. Yeah, we could be forcing white here. Had I taken the Ambassador, we now have Crawling Chorus and Duelist. There's also a Volt Charge here, though. I think that's slightly better than either of these commons, but again, it's just sending a weird signal down the line. Now, that's not going to matter too much, though. Like, if I ship a bunch of white cards in Pack 1, I might not see many white cards in Pack 2, but then in Pack 3, we could once again get the white cards. Because, you know, you pass left, then right, then left. So it's more important that we're getting past white cards than the fact that we are passing white cards ourselves. Let's go ahead and do that. And now we have like an Incisor Glider here, a Bardish here. I think Incisor Glider is just a good white card in any white deck. You don't need to be specifically corrupting your opponent out. What is the best card in this pack, though? The Lattice Blade Mantis? Probably. Yeah, I'm happy just to stay open here. Again, I don't want to just take a worse white card because we first picked a Mondrak, so... Lattice Blade... Okay, Scheming Aspirant I think is the best card in this pack, although... Outside of exactly like blue-black, I think it's pretty weak. But what the hell? Let's take it. Why not? What's the worst that happens? I've taken 4 different colors in an artifact in the first 5 picks. Okay, this is fine. At this point, I think I'll take the Charge of the Mites and pass another Incisor Glider. Again, I've passed a bunch of good white cards, so I don't expect to see many good white cards come back to us. Holy... Alright, that is just not correct. This is one of the best uncommons in the format. And we are getting its 7th pick here in the first pack, so... I guess we're going to jump into red-white. It's a fantastic pickup with the Mondrak anyways. Bladehold Warwhip is amazing. We're passing an Aspirant, a Slinger, a Blast, and a 3rd Glider, so... I guess red-white is just open, period. Splitter versus Lightbringer. Let's take the other equipment again. Go for the Firmiridan theme. Let's just cut off the red card. I'm just gonna kind of lock in the red-white at this point. Even if we get very little white in Pack 2, the fact that we're getting Bladehold Warwhip's 7th pick in Pack 1, and after we've seen so many good white cards passing this way, I mean, this is going to be the correct lane to jump in, I think. What a frickin' signal that was. Wheeling one of the Mirans here. Kind of a late branch Blight Stalker too, but it's not a big deal. All right, so now we have, what, 3 equipment to... Sorry, we have 3 4 Mirrodin cards to go with the Mondrak, plus the Charge of the Mites. So, I mean, even if we don't get another way to make a token, that's a lot of good value that we have here. So this is already better than just a random vanilla 4/4 in our deck, you know? I think I'm going to go with the first Spell Bomb, or Skull Bomb over the second Splitter. I wouldn't anticipate running either of those realistically, but maybe there's a world where we want this. I don't think I'll be running a second Mirror in here. Free from Flesh is a decent combat trick. Although there's a world if I pick up a couple of those aspirants and we can reduce the cost of all of our equipment. You know, maybe there's a world where I would run another. Damn. We all know how much I love All Will Be One, but sadly this is not going to be the correct place to do it. Looks like here we have a Chimney Rabble, a Bladecraft Aspirant, and a Crawling Chorus that we can potentially take. I want to keep the curve lower, so I'm going to go with the synergistic card that is the Aspirant over the Rabble. I don't think Crawling Chorus is super important, although it is a good early game play. But I'd rather have the Aspirant here. Planar Disruption's great. Mandible Justicier's also fantastic. I wouldn't mind picking up, you know, as many of these 2-drops as I could, but Disruption is just too solid of a removal spell for sure. Is that the second Drown that we've passed in a row? No big deal. The person to our left took an uncommon. Okay. So that doesn't necessarily mean anything. They maybe took like an Annex Sentry, you know? Though, who knows? Maybe they didn't jump into white. You never know. Our deck's already looking fantastic. Maybe 1 or 2 Hex Gold slashes. And then the rest just solid creature quality. And I think we would have a pretty hard to beat deck. I've passed on a couple of those Vanish into Eternities. We're going to most likely want to pick up at least one of those. If not for the main, then in the sideboard, definitely. Okay, there's one of the slashes. Perfect, perfect. Everything is going according to plan here. I don't know if we can wield this second Bladecraft, but we would definitely play it if we could. Yeah, and if the Bladecraft doesn't wheel, we're not going to get anything back in this pack. Okay, some more goodies. Skywarden, Indoctrination Attendant, Furnace Strider, another Rabble. It would be a mistake here to not take the Indoctrination Attendant, I think. It is crazy how good this card is in red-white equipment, right? You can bounce one of your 4 Mirrodin cards and just get extreme value. Ideally, you're bouncing one of your like 2-mana equipment like Batterfist or something, but even just bouncing one of the other ones when the creature's already traded off or whatever is so good. I mean, I would play any number of the Warden, the Strider, and the Rabble as well, but I think we want to go for the value that the Attendant gives. Easy Axiom Engraver here over the Shrapnel Slinger, though I would play both. Same thing with Blazing Crescendo, we would definitely play that. But Engraver is one of the better cards to allow you to kind of mitigate any amount of flood that you might have. Because a lot of times the red-white deck doesn't have much card draw, right? I mean, you have plenty of ways to potentially get value out of cards, like the equipment themselves are good value cards, as we get a nice Batterfist here, 6-pick. Just because it means, you know, with these type of equipment, especially the ones that pump power, you don't need to have crazy quality creatures. You can just suit up some of your smaller creatures, but always nice to have some extra value. That's a really good sideboard card. I'm happy to get the Red Sun's Twilight here. Normally in best of 1, I would just, you know, overlook this and take the Autonomous Furnace for the main deck, but Twilight is going to be a really good... And in fact, we could main deck this. I can destroy my own artifacts and get some crazy value that way, though. You generally don't want to be doing that. Or rather, I shouldn't say you don't generally want to be doing that, but it's generally a little bit too slow, right? Because you need to pay the 5 on this. If you can here, move that over so you can read that better. Destroy up to X target artifacts is X is 5 or more. For each artifact destroyed this way, create a token that's a copy of it. So if we blew up a bunch of our own equipment, for example, especially the 4 Mirrodin equipment, as we get a Furnace Strider here, we would get copies of the equipment, which would enter with the creatures because of the 4 Mirrodin ability, but then the equipment would go away and we would keep the tokens. So normally you're not going to want to make that play unless it's going to win you the game, because you'll be trading your equipment for just some 2/2 tokens, which is not necessarily bad, of course. I think this was the pack that had the blade graft, so sadly did not get that back, but no big deal. Yeah, got a rare here. Okay, sure, 20 gems. Got the Rabble and the Resistance Warden, nice. I think the Rabble's going to be a better choice here. Again, multiple creatures with the equipment is kind of good. Slinger on the wheel too, okay. Very, very good. And we move into pack number 3, looking very happy, feeling very happy, I should say. Bolt Charge here over Gold Warden's Helm, I think makes sense. We're not going to have much to proliferate, but 3 mana, 3 damage is fine. I think it's better than the Helm. Though that might not actually be correct. What's our creature count right now? 8 plus, what, 4 equipment? 1, 2, 3, yeah, 4 equipment. Yeah, so creature count's not great, but yeah, I think the Volt Charge probably takes it over the Helm here. This deck's gonna be real good. X-Gold Slash, Disruption, 2 Volt Charge. Oh, there's an Ossification now as well. Yeah, our removal is clutch. Another Crawling Chorus, but the card that we are losing that we would like the most is the Barbed Batter Fist. The Mycosynth Gardens is okay in the 4 Mirrodin deck. You have to remember, when a card like this copies something like Bladehold Warwhip, it's not entering the battlefield. It's technically already on the battlefield. So if we use the Mycosynth Gardens and copy our Warwhip, we would not get the 2/2 4 Mirrodin card. We would simply just make another whip. Easy Os. Jawbone Duelist. That is good with the equipment, but not particularly good in our deck otherwise. It is a 2-mana creature. But I'm thinking the second Axiom Engraver is honestly a little bit better here. And I think I'd rather have the second Engraver over the second Rabble. Not even going to consider Porcelain Zealot. Wow. Jeez, jeez, jeez. 4th pick, and again, a million goodies for us. Second Attendant, second Slash, first Blast, second Strider. Oh. God, I want to take the Hazardous Blast here because we don't have one yet. It's the most irreplaceable effect, but I don't even think our deck's going to need it. Our deck is so strong as it is. I don't know if the Blast is as necessary, and yeah, I'll just take Slash. Another Batter Fist here. Flensing Raptor would just be a 3-mana 2/2 in our deck, nothing more. I think I like that over Rebuke. I mean, when you move into the right lane, you move into the right lane. Remember how this draft started? I took like one of each color. But we read the signals correctly. We got a freaking Bladehold Warwhip super late in pack 1, and now we're getting one super late in pack 3. Third Batter Fist or first Helm. Jeez. I mean, maybe now I can cut like Volshaw's Splitter since our other equipment are so much better. I guess Charge of the Mites is also just not that good in our deck. Alright, I'll take another Batter Fist. Nice, another Aspirant's actually really good. And that Oxida Finisher is going to be great here as well. Yeah, let's cut the Red Sun's Twilight as we pick up a 4th Batter Fist. I guess... Do we... I don't know, I don't even think we're going to run that many. Hazardous Blast is the #1 card I want to wheel right now. Like, cut the Splitter, run 16 lands, probably feels good here. So we get a second Rabble again on the wheel. I don't think that was the Rabble that was in the Strider Hazardous Blast pack, right? I think there might be a Hazardous Blast that we can still get on the wheel. This should be okay as a 16 lander. Okay. I guess I'm gonna cut free flesh now. Awkwardly in this deck, we're gonna need to actually run quite a few white sources, even though we are so heavy in comparison to red. I think we're still gonna run like 9-8 or something if I want to run 17 lands. This deck is kind of crazy. 2 slashes, ossification, disruption, 2 volt charges, hazardous blast, 2 war whips, 3 batter fists, Mondrak, finisher, 2 aspirants. I mean, this is a deck that can easily go 3-0. I would not expect to do worse than a 2-1 with this deck. Yeah, I'm going to run 16 lands. I guess I'll go 9-7. No, I want to go 8-8, but maybe 9-7 is correct. The double white on the Mondrak is actually super awkward here. But it's probably right to go 9-7. I mean, I guess in a world, or oftentimes maybe we don't even want to run out Mondrak on turn 4, because if we wait until we can also hold up mana with it, then we can give it indestructible as well. But this deck is crazy, you know? Let's hope we draw well and play well. Best of 3, here we go. On to our first match. Well, I said we would probably not be casting Mondrak very frequently, but you know how Arena works. You have 7 plains and 9 mountains. Let's just give you 3 plains in your hand. Turn 1, swooping lookout. We have a good curve ourselves, though we don't have any non-creature spells. Hopefully the Axiom Engraver can find us some action here. Uh-oh. We might have a small problem if we just get overrun by green-white flyers. Green-white is generally, what, toxic? They do have Incisor Glider. Okay, I go to 17. And there's a Slaughter Singer now. There's a Volt Charge, that's good. I think I actually like bashing. And they obviously have a good double block here if they want to, but I don't mind trading either of these for their Slaughter Singer or for their Lookout, depending on how I'm feeling. I think I'd rather kill their poison creature if they decide to double block. Yeah, that's fine. I am probably not going to rummage end of turn here, because with Volt Charge we can proliferate an extra counter. That's slightly annoying. Okay. Oh, they didn't bounce their 1-drop. We have a couple of Hexgold Slashes we could draw for that too. I guess with the Intendant draw now, I can actually just discard my, use the counter on the Engraver instead. There's Mondrak. Okay, let's do that instead. Because now when we Attendant, we can get 2 of the Attendant tokens. Sure. Let's see. Sack 2 other artifacts and or creatures, put an indestructible counter on this. Okay. Let's go like this. Oh, no, not that. I'm debating bouncing the Axiom Engraver so they can't kill it by just playing out the, or discarding their glider. We can beat the Masticore, it's just going to be a little bit annoying to fight through. Wow, they just sacked it! Oh, they messed up. Okay. I was going to say, man, their hand must be crazy. Why would they just run that out? Ah, that's really, really awkward. I guess, yeah. That was clearly just a misclick of sorts. Right. Things you'll only see online. Well, we could actually bring in Twilight versus them. We saw Glider, Lookout, Token Producer, that's an artifact, and Masticore, so I don't think bringing in the Red Sun's Twilight is actually crazy here. I think I might cut the Blast in this matchup. Honestly, Blast might not even be all that good in our deck if you think about it, because we have so much removal. If our deck didn't have much removal, I think the Blast would be amazing, but with as much removal as we have, my opponents aren't really going to have creatures to block with anyways, if that makes sense. So, feel a little bit sorry for the opponent, but oof. This is maybe a reluctant keep on the draw. No, I can't keep a 5-lander. That's a lot better. I'll keep the second white source. We don't have any double red except for the finisher, and we have a bunch more red in the deck anyways. Turn 1 Chorus is annoying, but not that bad. Alright, we're just going to play Dune Mover out. Actually, you know what? Upon seeing them have a bunch of 1 toughness creatures, assuming we go to a game 3, we could actually leave Hazardous Blast in as a way to just kind of wrath a lot of their small creatures away, you know? Okay, we're very happy to see that. I'm gonna play out the Aspirant, no equip of the Batter Fist. Good. Alright, no Crawling Chorus attack is a nice sign for us. That's fine. We have the Slash for that. Great target. Main phase. I don't think I want to get corrupted here, so I'm going to leave the Aspirant back for the turn. Okay. Well, I guess maybe there was reason to equip in case they have the +2/+2. Yeah. Probably a mistake not to have equipped on my part. Ravel's a little bit safer, but let's use our mana efficiently in Stride. Because if they use like a Disruption on Strider, we're going to take 2 poison. Okay. They might still force in the damage, right? Attack with all? No. Okay. So they don't have a reason to get us corrupted. That's a good sign. Decent draw. I think I might try racing here. Would not be surprised if Chorus blocks the 3-1. I'm okay if they use a Charge of Mites on this too. That's great. And then we're going to go ahead and Ossification their Slaughter Singer. Which means I am going to take 2 more poison, but at this point I don't think it's relevant. Since, well, at least they're not trying to corrupt me anyways. No, they're going to leave the Chorus back to block. That's fine. What's better than 1 whip? How about 2? I like being extremely aggressive here. Hopefully this is not too aggressive, but... that is bad. So I would go to 5 and 6 poison. I guess that's allowable. Oh, they forgot to attack with the Lookout, so I should be at 4 here. It's a good draw that can kill the Rib Skiff, although I don't think we want to cast that this turn. Yeah, I mean, no matter what, they only have 1 blocker this turn, so... let's smack in. The only card we have to worry about them drawing is like a top-decked Flensing Raptor. Equip the Rabble, lets it trade with the Atrocity. Or I guess the White Skull Bomb also works. Notably, the War Whips are only 4 to equip as well now. Because they do reduce the cost of each other. Okay. Just the free attacker. Alright, I mean, that's fine. They have to just sacrifice it. So, we'll run out our finisher and pass. There was no need to sling it, right? Because they had no cards in their hand. And this should just be lethal. This is a 7/5 trampling double striker, so props to them if they can somehow survive this. We do want to be a little bit careful, though. I'm not attacking with everything, just in case. But that's going to be pretty hard to stop. All right, I mean, good draws by us. A little bit unfortunate on that first game where they accidentally sacked their Masticore, but our deck had so many tools versus that card anyways that we could draw. And, I mean, again, our deck is just kind of insane anyway, so... let's keep it going, because it's good. Let's move on to match number 2. And is fine. No removal. Awkward, but we have a 2-drop. A couple 4s. Both colors, awkwardly, both 2 planes again. Yeah, I mean... having any of our removal spells would be great, but... Black-white. Alright, another poison deck, most likely. I don't mind leading on the Batter Fist, even though the Sinew Dancer can just trade with it. I think it's probably better to hold the Shrapnel Slinger in case they do have a relevant artifact down the line. Aw, nothing. I guess if they're missing land drops, I am okay to... Oh, are they going to use the indestructible trick here? That's fine. Sure. I am not going to equip now, though. As a 2-2 is good versus a 1-1 while they're missing land drops. Let's go Rabble here and smack. Next turn we can Attendant back our Batter Fist. This is going to be a non-game if they don't draw land here soon. I mean, maybe they have another trick. But... like, they might not fall too far behind if they have another Offer Immortality, or maybe if they want to block and use +2/+2 Complete Devotion. I guess that's what they have here if they're making this block. Or a Whispers of the Dross? Sure. I mean, I guess that takes their creature off the board. Alright, yeah. Man, both game ones we've had non-games for a variety of reasons. So, we can definitely put them on black-white poison. Do we have anything we want to board versus that? Not really. Our deck is just so clean as it is. Black-white usually has a bunch of 1-drops for blast, so we can leave that in versus them, certainly. Again, we only have 7 planes in our deck. What has happened? Shuffler. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, again, I'm going to pitch my second mountain instead of the second planes. Because we just don't really... Oh. Okay. Why you gotta do this to me, bro? I guess there was no way out of having 4 planes this game, was there? I think what I like doing here is moving the Batter Fist over. They're missing black, and we know they have Whispers of the Dross in their deck, so by moving it over, they can't kill either of those creatures if they do draw a swamp and have access to Whispers. Sure. This looks like it's going to be another non-game of sorts. Our opponent on mono white, missing black. We have 2 3-power creatures and then 2 removal spells, so... In fact, I don't even need to play out the Disruption here. We can just play out the Rabble and smack for 9. They're going to have to trade, basically. Hey, okay. Hey, okay. They go to 6. So they had a different way to kill a 1 toughness creature. We're not blocking here. It's a great draw. Let's go slash. Smack. Attendant, bounce the Batter Fist. They're gonna need one of those big white bombs to win this one. That is not it. Alright. It kind of sucks to have these non-games when our deck is so good, but let's just assume we had a good game and we beat our opponent with our card quality. 2-0. Well on our way to a nice little trophy with what I can only call an insane red-white for Mirrodin deck. Match number 3. Don't you put 3 or more planes in my hand. Don't you do it. We're on the draw. 1 plains, 2 mountains. Okay, more than 1 land would have been good too. No! 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 Stop with the planes! That's a good 6-card hand, though. Why do you keep doing this to me? I put fewer planes than mountains, so I would draw fewer planes than mountains. Isn't this how this works? Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to convert here. Because convert is a pretty big target in the early game. Like, opponents, and even me, will use, like, volt charges pretty aggressively on a 2-mana ramper. Though in our hand, it doesn't actually do all that much. Alright, they're going to sling at it, probably. Now, in this scenario, it would have actually been quite good. I would have been able to go Bladegraft into Batterfist on the same turn. But like I said, I don't really mind them using removal. Although they used a removal spell, that doesn't matter otherwise. So the biggest issue versus red-green is usually that their creatures are going to outclass yours. It would appear to me that they have a Tyver's Stand in their hand. My ring light is bugging out. Some of the pixels are flickering. Molten Rebuke. That's rather rude. Wouldn't call it a true 2-for-1, though. I think trading here is good. Gets rid of one of their oil creatures. So, now if they have like a troll or a ravager, it's harder for them to do anything with it. Okay. 1 card left in their hand. I'm still putting them on having a Tyver's Stand in their hand. But it looks like it's going to be a battle of the top decks here. Yeah, I'll block. Sure. Alright. Great draw. Ours simply blocks theirs. And if they want to use Tyver's Stand, which I guess they do, I'm okay with that. Getting it out of their hand for our disruption is very good. Yep. Okay. That's obviously not a great target because they can just move the equipment if they draw a creature, but I can't afford to just sit back and take 4. Oh no. Well, they drew a relevant card first. Though it is most likely not a land in their hand, which is also another bad sign. Because if they had a land, they would have moved the equipment over. Yeah, it's bad too. Probably a little bit too late. Oh yeah, and they can just haste up the battle chair with the Strider. Alright, yeah, like I said, bigger, scarier threats from their end. How many equipment did they have? Battle chair, Slinger, and the Splitter. So this could be a match where the Twilight is like fine. I'm gonna go ahead and cut the Hazardous Blast here. Oh, actually, no. Hazardous Blast is a lot better versus the big deck, because usually what will happen is the game will kind of stabilize. I'll have more creatures, but they'll have bigger creatures. In fact, it looks like our Hexgold Slashes might not be worth it versus them. I mean, they have some Predation Stewards, but yeah, the Slashes actually look a little bit weak. This looks weird, but I think it's right to cut them and maybe bring in like Free from Fleshes. Let's bring in the Twilight and one Free from Flesh. Because with the Free from Flesh, we can make our smaller creatures bigger than theirs. But with Hexgold Slash, we're simply either killing a 2/2 or trading 2 for 1 in their favor. Okay, that's fine, because we have Engraver to rummage away. We don't find some lands. Okay, whatever. Yeah, let's find a plains, ideally. Well, unfortunate. We might give a game back by not doing anything, just like what happened in first 2 matches. Canker Bloom's pretty good versus us too. I guess we would rather force them to use their trick by blocking the 2/2. Yep. And then let's make 2 2/2s instead of a 3/1 and a 2/2. Yeah, this Red Sun's Twilight, I'm glad I brought that in. Awkwardly, I'm not going to trade with their Slinger. Right? Since we want to be killing it with our Twilight here. Sure. Rebuke gets us again. I'm going to take 5 here. I think that's correct. If we draw plains, I want to go Attendant, bounce Engraver, and replay it. Oh, shoot! Why did I think they're... I should have blocked their 2/2, obviously. That was just a big mistake. I should be at 6 right now. Whoopsies. For some reason in my head, I couldn't block their 2/2. So that's just simply a punt. Right? I could have blocked their 2/2 last turn. Ah, maybe it didn't matter if they had Hazardous Blast plus Hex or Tiber Stand. Sure, okay. So even if I, well... Yeah, it wouldn't have mattered. Even if I had 2 more life, they still make that play and win. Small punt there at the end, but it didn't ultimately matter. Man, I thought our deck... Well, rather, I will say this. Our deck was insane, but we had a lot of non-games. The first 2 rounds, we had 2 non-games because our opponents either misclicked or just screwed out. And then round 3 there, yeah, we kind of just got smashed. Didn't get the draws we needed. Deck was insane, though. I think we drafted it very, very well. We read the signals. We stayed extremely open. We got rewarded with a late War Whip, and then committed to the red-white, and our deck ended up amazing. So, super good deck. Not the result we wanted, and not the games we wanted either, but That's magic, baby. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. I'll see you back tomorrow for some more